Rahal, McLaughlin front row. The bitnile.com Grand Prix of Portland, 110 laps, championship on the line, and they start a little earlier. This is a recent trend of starting in turn 12. Here we go, and Graham Rahal has been given the flexibility and permission by race control to start it when you feel it's ready to go. Dixon alongside in that bright orange and blue machine alongside Colton Herter. Where's the championship leader? He's on the inside. Rahal into turn 1. Do we get through cleanly? There's a lockup, a little bit of contact there.
Two cars going through. I think that might have been Kyle Kirkwood in the pink car going long and hitting one of the barriers, but up front they continue to race. Look at Dixon, orange and blue car trying to sneak on Colton Herta in the black and yellow.
Around the outside, that green and black car, that's Callum Milot off a great qualifying effort up the inside of one of the McLarens into 6, side by side now. The McLaren fighting back, I think that's Rosenquist.
And Rossi up the inside there, Power side by side. Look at this. Good stuff from the teammates, but the dirt flies. One of those cars is Ilott. Grosjean got airborne. Wheels slamming, cars hitting.
And the left front for Romain Grosjean is destroyed. He will have to limp back to the pits.
Suspension completely gone. I got pushed wide and there was a car and a gravel under it.
Oh boy, and Joseph Newgarden back there. He's trying to avoid everything.
I think Newgarden was that other car that had to go through the runoff in turn 1, Townsend.
Yeah.
Along with Kirkwood, but here's the damage to the 28. You saw that Callum Milot was just pushed out wide in 7, kicked up some dirt. Didn't see him coming. Now the inside into turn 1, that's Lundgaard.
And the teammate Yuri Vips, the newcomer to IndyCar racing, the young Estonian, there he is there in the custom entertainment machine. Meanwhile, Will Power keeps trying to fend off all the McLaren drivers on board with Alexander Rossi.
Well, and the challenge for Will Power is he's starting on that harder black compound tire. And right now, Rossi has the softer red in these overcast, cool conditions. I think the advantage is on Rossi. Still a ton of dirt at the exit of turn 7. Kevin Grosjean's coming to the box.
And Romain Grosjean comes in, and it is apparently some significant damage because the call was you're going to shut it off when you came in. They told him there's nothing you can do, but the bad luck continues, or at least no results here at Portland for Grosjean, who's finished 19th and 22nd in his 2 races here.
Is it going to be day over? Rahal leads McLaughlin, Palou, Herter, Dixon, then Pato O'Ward, Will Power, Alexander Rossi, and Felix Rosenquist.
Power was even looking a little bit racy there into turn 1 as we see Kirkwood try to make up some of that ground on Helio Castroneves. Great move through the first chicane. Will Power's off, turn 4.
Is that contact from Alexander Rossi? These guys were arguing over the same piece of track multiple times. He stalled. Power needs help, and it's a caution.
So he was trying to dive down the inside and just lost it. Too much speed, or at least defending maybe, I guess, against Alexander Rossi. And just lost the back end.
Huge forceful entry speed into the corner, and as you said, just lost the tail end. And this is the story of red versus black tires, but it started much earlier. 2 cars going side by side. Oh, there he goes.
If you believe in omens, this is the first time that Graham Rahal has led the first few laps since he won Detroit Race 1 in 2017. That should be a positive sign for the Rahal Letterman Lanigan driver. Back to racing. Here we go into turn 1. Watch the teammates further back in the orange machine. Rosenquist on the inside of Rossi.
Makes that pass done. Further down, a little bit side by side. That's Devlin DiFrancesco in the blue and white machine there. Joseph Newgarden right behind. The McLarens all get through well in lockstep there. Can Palou hang on to his position? He's the only primary tire runner in the top 4, surrounded by cars on those softer red sidewalled alternate tires.
Now on the initial start, it looked like the red tires had the advantage, but now the black tire shot cars have temperature. They've done several laps in anger, and maybe things start to balance out. We'll be watching that, and here it is, the Aero McLaren guys getting nasty on the back straight.
Look at this. Rossi comes back now on Rosenquist. That's at 180, 190 miles an hour. That is big speed up there.
Great move up the inside into turn 10. It's not a big brake zone. You're turning in 5th gear just to brush with the brakes, so to throw it in there, that takes some big commitment.
And in front of Rossi is Pato O'Ward, who gave him a little bit of a shoulder off into the dirt on that initial start. So I think Rossi is head down and pushing hard on the softer red tire.
Exactly. Both his teammates are on that harder black sidewalled primary tire. A little bit less grip, but hopefully doesn't degrade or fall off, slow down as much over a stint.
Bottom of that shot, there's a white car, the white and gold bitnile.com Chevy of Rinus VK. He's made up 4 positions from the start. The young Dutch driver has come to play.
Peels off and comes to pit lane along with, I think, Alexander Rossi and Marcus Ericsson.
Second last race for Marcus Ericsson in those Husky colors for Chip Ganassi Racing. He is off to Andretti Autosport next year. Dylan Welsh is standing by with Alexander Rossi. Take it away.
Yeah, and a couple of these cars, I think all these cars are all the ones that started on the alternates. That's the case for Ericsson. That's the case for Rossi as well. Sticker primaries going on for a lot of these cars, Kevin.
The Gainbridge Honda is also in. He wanted to get off those softer alternates. Let's see what the primaries do. Colton was one of those really concerned if the Reds would last long enough. He might be done with them today.
Ericsson's been able to leapfrog Rossi. There he is there in the red and white Husky Honda.
Now this might factor pretty importantly into Graham Rahal's situation, because remember, Graham had to use sticker black tires to win the pole position, which means he has 1 fewer fresh sets of blacks.
But if you listen to Graham's interview, he said they saved a set throughout practice, used 1 fewer sets.
Left front's hurting for sure. Copy.
Of primaries. That gap to McLaughlin is sort of now held station around 2 seconds, but look at this battle. Christian Lundgaard, that's Rinus VK now up the inside of Alex Rossi on his outlap on those primaries.
He's on push to pass, the steering wheel lighting up all green for Christian Lundgaard, so he's using the extra boost, and Rossi on the button to defend.
Oh boy, we just got a message from race control. 26, the Gainbridge Honda of Colton Herta. Pit lane speed violation. He gets a penalty.
Oh, for Andretti Autosport this day, half their crew here with Grosjean and Herta. Big issues in the first 20 laps. Grosjean with the contact now runs 10 laps down, and now Colton Herta goes all the way to the back. McLaughlin now ducks in for the undercut.
It's going to be interesting. Kevin Lee standing by. It'll be interesting to see what this lap looks like for Rahal. But first, here's McLaughlin.
And everyone that started on the alternate red sidewalls, they were stickers, so they've satisfied that requirement. Going to primary Firestone shell fuel, that's a really quick stop for the thirsty threes, and McLaughlin is out.
How about that? 5.8 seconds. That's going to matter when Graham Rahal comes in. Only 22 laps, so you didn't need full fuel. That means the gunslingers at Team Penske getting it done on pit lane. Graham will come in this lap, and we'll see a blend when he comes out.
Yeah, you see him burning push to pass there. You want that in lap to be as quick as possible. Same with that out lap, so crucial in these green flag cycles. But look, Alex Palou has completely eliminated that lead as the number 15 dives to pit lane. Kept that speed in check, Graham.
Well, talking of that, Tom Blomqvist has got a pit lane speed violation penalty as well. Dylan's there with Rahal.
And the balance went from good on lap 15 to the left front's really hurt on lap 18. So that's how quickly it changes. Looks like a smooth stop. Rahal gets away a little bit slowly, but we'll see if we can beat McLaughlin.
All right, where is he in relation? You'll look to the right of your screen and see McLaughlin. Here he comes, turn 12. Graham's crawling down pit lane here. Here comes the Freightliner Chevy down the front straight. He's at speed. Rahal to get off that pit lane speed limiter.
Graham will be there first, but on cold black tires, as McLaughlin has a full lap of temperature in his Firestones.
Remember, when he pit McLaughlin, he was about 2.7 seconds behind Graham. So by the time we end this first lap, I mean, he's going to chew him up through this section with the warm tires to Graham's cold. It will be definitely a net gain for the thirsty threes.
Graham is sliding around. He's doing everything he can to maximize his corner exit without sliding the rear. Could be game on by the time they come to the front stretch, Diff.
While we're watching a fantastic battle, how about the wonderful sportsmanship between these two? McLaughlin was bummed yesterday not to get back-to-back poles here, but the first thing he did was walk over to the guy he's in pursuit of yesterday and shake his hand and say, well done. Now these two, while they fight, they've got to keep a watchful eye on where Alex Palou is in the big scheme of things as Rahal wriggles off turn 12. And we ride the Freightliner Chevy to see if he can get this position away from Rahal.
Might not happen in the brake zone, but Diff, you make a great point. If they fight too hard, that's going to help Alex Palou once he decides to pit. He'll be making good time. McLaughlin now all over the gearbox of Rahal.
All Palou has to do, Kev, is finish on the podium today, and the championship is locked.
And he might do it from victory lane, because I think it has turned a bit Look at the gap. It's now 33 seconds to Graham Rahal. Time lost on pit lane is anywhere between 28 and 32 seconds. He's picked up 3 seconds on Graham in the last couple of laps. He does not have to pit for another 8 laps or so.
But this guy can help out his teammate Graham Rahal. Yuri Vips, the rookie, can hold up Alex Palou a little bit, make his life difficult, and help Graham claw back some of that gap that he needs.
In his first drive for Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, he could be the ultimate teammate. Here's Kyle Kirkwood, made mention of him earlier, and his incident from earlier is under review. Let's have a look at what happened. That's Augustine Canapino to the left in the black and green car for Junko's Hollinger Racing.
Well, if there was any review, it would be for Canapino. But anytime you're trying to pass on the outside, or in this case, maybe Canapino was making a move up the inside.
Oh, this is what they're reviewing.
Oh,
Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Oh, boy. Oh, that is nasty.
That's naughty. That is naughty for sure. It's not, I think we call it the back straight, but it's not straight, as you know, T-Balance. Watch this here. The gentle fade over.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Wow.
And Ryan
Oh, hey, that's a huge penalty.
Yeah, you are right, Ryan Hunter-Reay, as 2 Arrow McLaren teammates, the 5 and 6 O'Ward and Rosenquist, Kev, coming to you.
So Felix Rosenquist had a fast car. Remember, he had a mechanical in qualifying. Fastest in the first round yesterday, so he's someone from his starting position of 11th, could maybe move up. Primary to primary, Shell Fuel, Rosenquist back out.
And we're on borrowed time as far as seeing Felix's. There's a quick, good race off pit lane between the teammates there. And O'Ward comes back on the inside of Felix. They almost touch.
O'Ward should have the
Wheels behind
advantage
y'all.
on the Reds in a couple of corners, but not if he slides off track.
They were briefly 3 wide as Ryan Hunter-Reay came swinging around the outside. Interesting, though, that Felix has gone to the primaries as Pato has gone to the alternates. That means Felix still has to run a set of reds before this race is over, as Power now tries to line up. O'Ward can't get it done.
Yeah, O'Ward on the Reds because he started on blacks, but to your point, Rosenquist is kicking the can down the road a bit.
And to finish that point, we're on borrowed time to see Felix in Arrow McLaren colours. The general consensus is he's moving on for the 2024 season. This is Newgarden in. Kev?
And he also started further back than what the pace of the car showed, because he crashed in qualifying, so starting 12th. He has an extra set of sticker reds if he wants them. Back out with new Firestones and Shell Fuel.
This could get a little crazy. Look at McLaughlin and Rahal there. They're stuck in traffic as Newgarden comes out on cold tires. Graham Rahal to the outside.
And that's put a little bit of a buffer, not much. That just
Cleared.
halted McLaughlin for a second.
And all of this is perfect for Alex Palou because these guys are all jammed up as Palou now comes to the pit lane with 41 seconds over Rahal.
And looking very racy in the background is Marcus Ericsson. We'll get back to that in a moment. Race leader, championship leader is in. Kevin.
And I think he's going to be racing Felix Rosenquist. He's the best that went long in the first, and it's a 38-second gap. This is the alternate run, so this could determine the race. If he can make this a normal stint, Alex Palou might be home free to a championship.
Wow, there is a huge gap from where Palou is in comparison to Rahal. Rahal's only in turn 12 now.
Yeah, but O'Ward and Rosenquist are effectively ahead of Rahal and McLaughlin, but everybody having made one stop.
But that's right who you're looking at from this people ready on board of Graham Rahal, so still a healthy margin for Alex Palou over these drivers. It's Scott Dixon, his teammate, who's staying out longer. Let's see if he can use the hot tires he's on right now to pull off a quick lap before he comes to the pits and maybe actually able to leapfrog Alex Palou.
Race control has asked Kyle Kirkwood to give up 2 placings for that incident with Ryan Hunter-Reay, and the final car to pit in this race is the guy who's won the last 2 races in succession. Here comes Scott Dixon.
And they had a little bit of lap traffic that Dixon was dealing with, so we'll see if this in-lap was able to be a clean one. They've got another set of sticker primaries laid out. Mike Cole wanted to give it another run just to learn a little bit more and let the track rubber in before they switch to alternate tires. So a quick stop for Dixon. We'll see where he blends in.
Took a precious extra second or 2, James, to get that front wing change in, as Alex Palou is going to go blowing by there at the bottom of the screen. Out comes Dixon into clean air, so Ganassi effectively running 1-2.
David Malukas coming in, and Palou is just told, hey, you don't need to pass him. He's got to stop in a couple of laps or so. As far as where Scott Dixon is in, Mike O'Gara, who you just heard, said, I don't want him to even think about where Scott Dixon is. Run your race. He did ask what the gap was and was told 6 seconds back. Pretty easy for Alex Palou to figure it out right now. He's in front, and that's all that matters.
Here's the championship leader.
And the debate came until 5 seconds before the commit line. He said, I can do another lap if you want me to. No, come on in. He has satisfied the alternate. He can run primary Firestones the rest of the way.
Now maybe somewhere around, who's got, I guess that's Elio. That's the next car behind him.
Overtake. Make sure one, overtake.
So that's the call, overtake. You want to try to get up to speed as quickly as possible on that outlap. Elio Castro.
Don't get a blocking penalty, Alex Palou.
That was marginal.
Absolutely deserving of review. I don't care if it's Elio Castroneves, who you're not battling at the lead. That looked like a move in reaction to.
So let's see what race control says. And the stewards, Ari Leyendijk, Max Pappas. Pappas, a pole winner and race winner here at Portland International. What do they have to say about it?
What'd you make of that?
You got to look at it, because not only did he move drivers right, maybe after Castroneves did, then Castroneves went back to the left, and so did Palou. He didn't hold that line into turn one. Let's take another look at it. So coming through turn 1 and 2, Castroneves on those hot tires gets that good traction, tries to go to the outside. Now here's where it goes weird, Townsend. There, he's pulled out, and then that's almost 2 blocks.
Look at these two guys, Graham Rahal, Scott McLaughlin. They're on pit lane. Dylan Welsh is there.
And he was saving fuel on that stint just to try to make this stop as short as possible. Gently used primary tires going on, and a quick turn of front wing for Rahal.
Down and away. Nice quick run there, Kev, for as the 3 comes in.
So Scott McLaughlin is all the way out at pit out. You see Pato O'Ward just came in, comes right around him as well. McLaughlin desperately wants to finish as the top Penske in the championship. He's got an opportunity to do that, and he's going to race right on pit lane.
Oh, that was close.
Watch this, cold tires. This is like driving on ice for Rahal and McLaughlin.
Do you see a drop of rain on that lens, or is that just fuel coming, with the spray water coming off the back of... Oh, here we go.
Ericsson goes through. It is overcast here in Portland. There goes VK. Rinus VK. That's the difference between cold and hot tires.
I have never seen a pass on the inside right there where Rinus VK just got around that orange and white car of Graham Rahal, and now the McLaren's right on the back of McLaughlin. Going to be on the outside of 7.
By the way, message from race control. The Palou Castroneves thing never put under review. Now, there was a little bit of action during the break between this Pink Auto Nation Honda 2-time winner this season, Kyle Kirkwood, and Joseph Newgarden. Rewind the clock to lap 1, turn 1. These two guys came together here, and they do it again.
Yeah, I don't know if Kirkwood knew he was there. I mean, he had a very decisive late turn-in, but Newgarden already had position. And then this happened later, just behind Kirkwood. Marcus Ericsson side by side with Rinus VK.
Yeah, VK's been throwing it in left, right, and center. I mean, that one's a bit on the edge for sure, just kind of firing the 8 off, but we've seen other cars do that without penalty, left him 0 room on the exit. Kirkwood doing his best to try to keep cars behind him. Like we said, he's hitting a fuel number big time, which makes him so vulnerable at the end of these long straightaways. Rinus VK with the attack mode we've seen him in right now, he knows that the 27's trying to save fuel. Here comes Scott Dixon.
Gotta think he's gonna go to sticker reds for this stint, I would assume. But we don't know. Dylan, what do you see ready to bolt on the number 9?
Yeah, that's what they've had laid out, and again, that is what they're going to do. So Dixon can run these for probably 16 or 17 laps, and then get in their window, get them off as soon as the window opens to go back to the primary tires, the preferred tire to finish. So first stint here and first opportunity in the race for Dixon to see what the Reds are going to do.
And the job is clear for Scott Dixon. Get these tires hot and then go as hard as you can. We should see a blend battle right here with Felix Rosenqvist. Dixon on cold reds. It'll take a few corners to build the temp.
So that cycles Alex Palou back to the top of this race. The championship leader, all he needs to do is finish on the podium, regardless of where Dixon finishes in that car up ahead. The view from Rosenqvist, and Palou will be the champion.
These guys used to be teammates, James. Huge respect from Rosenqvist for Dixon. Here's a chance right here.
The lunge into 7. Is Rosie going to try it? Doesn't quite get close enough to make it happen. Dixon doing a masterful job getting up to speed on those reds.
That might have been Rosenqvist's chance.
On the button right now, he's just hunting down that number 9 car.
It is so tough to execute a pass right here. Broaching 180 miles an hour into turn 10, turn 11. Final turn on the track. Let's ride with Felix.
Oh, I think he let Dixon get that tire temp, get the pressures up. Dixon
Okay, let's go get him.
on the button. Oh,
Whoa!
Dixon almost lost it. That's the thing, the outlap, if you're not fully pressured up and you hit that curve down at the apex of 1, you can case the bottom of the car. Speaking of being on the button, how many push-to-pass seconds are left? They started with 200 seconds, and Dixon, wow. That's unusual for Scott Dixon to be that liberal on push-to-pass.
He's Kyle Kirkwood. Dylan's there.
And remember, he pitted on lap 4 and then had to make a long stint work on the fuel. They're going to have another one of those here. 35 laps to the end, but this is the last scheduled stop. You see him packing it full of Shell fuel for Kirkwood.
So he did. I mean, he made it to lap 76. This is what we were sort of speculating might happen.
Dare I say danger zone.
I mean,
Palou
yeah.
just lapped him there.
Well,
but
that hurts it
the
then.
rest of the field is now vulnerable. If a full course caution came out, Kyle Kirkwood would be sweeping his way right to the front as he tries to hold off once again Ryan Hunter-Reay. And Hunter-Reay probably has not forgotten one bit what happened in the opening parts of this race when Kyle Kirkwood moved him way wide on the back straightaway. Just after this corner, we might see the exact same situation again.
You see that big wide entry from Hunter-Reay trying to square up the exit on the push to pass.
What?
But we have seen how dirty it is offline, Townsend. All the marbles that Hunter-Reay's having to drive through with his hot Firestone side by side. Kirkwood gives in.
Like, I'm going to show you how to do it when you don't do that to me. As the race leader, championship leader, Alex Palou is in.
And he was right behind that onboard of Yuri Vip, so he's not been running really quick laps, so that gap has shrunk by about 4 seconds. Could be the final stop towards the championship. He's got what is the preferred tire, the primary Firestone, to go this last lap and last stint. No big issues with fuel concern. Can easily get it done. 31 laps to the final stint, and the American Legion Honda is back out.
He is back out and out of the danger zone. So
Mix 1 and overtake.
mix 1, probably full rich except for Stingray Robb, and here comes Graham Rahal, who still has to make his last stop. How aggressive does Graham race him?
But how about that? Palou is a full pit stop ahead of the pole sitter, Graham Rahal. The way this race has played out, this is where Graham Rahal is going to be shaking his head, scratching his head, saying, hey, how did we end up here?
Here is the Arrow McLaren Chevy
And
for
this
Pato Award.
This is a pretty important one. This could mean 5th, or this could mean 3rd potentially, or maybe even 2nd for Pato Award, who battles Dixon for a podium position. Marcus Armstrong here with a 7. Oh no, loses the right rear.
Kevin, just when he was poised for his equal best IndyCar result, it's all gone away.
And I was going to say, he was going to go a long way towards wrapping up the Rookie of the Year championship with a race to go. He was plus 20 coming in, but he's going to lose all kinds of track position and fall way to the back.
Augustine Canapino runs 16th right now, so Armstrong more than likely will finish behind Canapino in this race. Here comes Dixon.
Oh my goodness, just when the day was going so great for Marcus Armstrong. Let's deal with his teammate. Here's Dixon, Dylan.
Yeah, now he's got to drive right around Ericsson. They're in the stalls next to each other, so that's a little bit inconvenient for Dixon. He wanted to go a couple laps longer to try to take advantage of those red tires. He did that and also asked for some front wings, so we'll see if he blends in any closer to Palou here.
Launches out right beside Ryan Hunter-Reay. And we'll have that inside line for turn 1.
Oh, Hunter-Reay not going to give up that easily. That was pretty tight. So both Palou and Dixon pretty racy straight out of the pits.
Whoa!
Oh no, Canapino, right when his Rookie of the Year rival Marcus Armstrong has trouble. Canapino now.
Guys, if the yellow comes out, Felix Rosenquist is going to be the big loser here. He has not yet pit. David Malukas, you see, dives into pit lane. They might leave it green and give Rosenqvist the chance to come in and get that stop done.
Rosenqvist is on the back straightaway as all the cars are approaching this zone where Canapino's off the track. And there's the call.
It's a fairly exposed bit of racetrack there.
Unfortunately for Felix, luckily he's able to get to pit lane before the first full course caution, but he's going to have to do 26 laps on reds to finish the race.
That'll be tough. That will be tough. So, just when he got ahead of Rookie of the Year title rival Marcus Armstrong, Augustine Canapino is stationary on the side of the track. Kevin?
And as you said, it's going to be tough to make it. At least the race wasn't destroyed because the pits stayed open, so he still has a chance for a podium, but making those softer compound Firestones last 26 laps is going to be a real challenge.
Here's the caution. What happened?
It's been one of
Turn
that.
10. Whoa.
Wow, just a ton of speed in. Didn't even make the turn 10.
That had a weird look of maybe even a braking issue, perhaps.
Yeah, you could. There's a lot of fluid coming out of the gearbox or the back of the car there. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I think something went wrong there.
Here we go, back to green in Portland. 22 laps to go.
Marcus Armstrong in that green number 11 on the inside of Stingray Robb. His teammate Scott Dixon going with him, but because of that problem in pit lane, Armstrong's a lap down. He needs to let Dixon go by, and there he goes.
He'll let Dixon, but probably not Pato O'Ward. How aggressive does O'Ward get here? We're on board with the Arrow McLaren driver.
How about Armstrong getting taily?
Some team trickery at work here. O'Ward's going to want to try to fire it down the inside of turn 7 to clear the lap car of Armstrong. Here it goes.
Nice move.
Good clean pass. Well done, Pato O'Ward and Marcus Armstrong. Meanwhile, in the background, McLaughlin has lost a couple of positions. Ericsson's in the mix.
Don't forget how dirty the racetrack is offline right here. Too wide is sketchy.
Wow, Turda and McLaughlin tapped there at over 150 miles an hour.
Graham Rahal out of push to pass, runs 12th on board here with Herta. They touched! They touched in front of him. Ericsson, contact with Rossi.
That was wild at 180 miles an hour.
I can't see.
Box if you can, box if you can.
How did Alexander Rossi not have a monumental crash? Colton Herta has fought his way all the way back up to 8th. Really gritty drive.
And look at how hard he's having to work behind the wheel of that Cambridge Honda. It is not coming easy. Trying to set up maybe. Oh, no, he's gone off.
Oh,
he's going around. No. And he stalled it.
This could bring out a call. No, he restarted it. Dumped the clutch. Bump started his race car. Lost about 5 positions in the process.
What a ride.
And not only does this lock in Palou as the champion if he holds on for this final lap, but so too will Scott Dixon lock in second with this run ahead of Joseph Newgarden.
You know, when he first came into this team, he did more listening than talking. Sponged, listened to the legends around him. He galvanized his team by doing just little things like turning up at the race shop on a Monday or a Tuesday morning with several boxes of donuts for his guys and gals on the team. Listened to them, spent time with them, learned about the team from the inside, learn about the car, learn about the culture of IndyCar, learn about moving from Spain to Indianapolis, Indiana. And here he is, Alex Palou, for the second time in 3 years, is an NTT IndyCar Series champion. Hello, Palou, a champion again.
Let's go, boys. Oh my God. Let's go. Thank you. You guys are the best.
It was an amazing weekend overall. We just had really fast cars. We knew we had to go for it, and we just raced how we've been doing all season. So yeah, super proud to be here in Victory Lane. Super proud of the second championship and 15th for the team. We're missing Barry. We wish you the best of recoveries. He did an amazing job. He cannot be here now, and it's extra special for the American Legion be the one. It's a month of the suicide prevention, so hopefully that helps a lot of people now.
What's the difference in championship number 2 when you're more the hunted than the hunter?
I love it. I love it. I mean, I never thought that would be an IndyCar champion, and to be two-time IndyCar champion just feels amazing, like a dream. So cannot thank these guys and girls enough. They gave me all the tools I needed to win, so we'll keep on rolling.
Watch the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey, Sunday, September 10th at 2:30 p.m. on NBC.